Hey guys, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to show you how to turn your avatar into a plushie. Now, I'm not going to be doing my own avatar today, but my buddy Hyperion. He was struggling to make his own, so I figured I will make him one. First things first, grab your username or the username of the person that you're turning into a plushie. Go into Studio. If it's your own avatar, you can go to the Avatar tab, click Character, switch this to R6, and then just hit My Avatar. But since mine isn't the one I'm doing today, I'm going to go to Plugins, Load Character. We already have his character in here. We're going to go to R6, and then we're going to switch the origin position from this to 0. Then we can press F on our keyboard to fly over to it. Perfect. And now all we have to do is right click, save export, and export selection. And now we'll go into Blender. In Blender, the first thing you have to do is delete everything, file, import, Wavefront OBJ right here. Click on the object you just exported. Make sure it's the OBJ file and not the MTL. We're going to split by object and split by group and import. Now we'll just move this up. I'm going to hold Z on my keyboard and then hover over Material Preview, and now we have our avatar. Now, a plushie doesn't look exactly like a normal avatar, so let's go over a few things that we need to do. First up, I'm going to remodel the body of this to look a lot more softer and cute, and I will leave that blend file in the Discord server under Development Resources. If you guys like it, you don't have to model it yourself. Next thing is, if we go down here, we have 4,298 triangles and 3,600 vertices. The mesh requirements are under 4,000 triangles and 1,200 vertices, so we need to meet that. The next thing is the texture for everything. This is the hardest part about making a plushie. It has to be 1024 by 1024. Now we can grab the texture that was exported, and the easiest thing is just put it right there. Now it's technically 1024 by 1024 if we export it. But if we want it to be more detailed, we could cut some of these parts out. So let's cut this out. I'm gonna do Control J if I select the right layer. Control J, and I'm gonna highlight that one more time and delete it. Eraser tool, okay, and delete on the keyboard. Now I can take this layer, I will rotate it 90 degrees, and I will scale it all up. The main goal is making this texture take up the most space it can while staying within this 1024 by 1024 grid. There we go. And we're gonna wanna put a background on this just so Roblox knows that it's 1024. After we make our background on our image, we're going to go File, Export, Export As, and then we're going to do a PNG. We'll export that, and in Blender, we will open it in our UV editing tab. Perfect. Now this looks like a mess, so let's close that for now, and I'm going to model out the body for this plushie. I'll kind of skip past this part, and you guys will just be able to download it from the Discord for free. Alright guys, after the body is made, I haven't positioned it yet, but it is made, we need to start optimizing. So Roblox, when you export stuff, makes a lot of extra work for yourself. It's all triangulated and everything like that. I am going to select all of this and see what will happen if I just do merge by distance. We removed 1,392 vertices, which is good, and it doesn't look like it really messed anything up. The next thing that we can do, if we're really struggling for optimization, is start taking some of this stuff and remodeling it. This, for example, completely okay. The headphones, we could make so much more optimized, and since this is a small plushie and there's parts you can't see, like the band of the headphones, we could completely get rid of those. So what I'm gonna do first is bring in a cylinder. We're gonna cut these sides way down to like 10. Shade smooth, R90, and then place this where it needs to be. Let's go into our wireframe mode, and we're gonna scale this down so it lines up with the current headphone. Looks like a little bit more, perfect. Then we'll grab this face, drag it in, grab this face, drag it in, and we just have to bevel those two faces. I am just gonna use one, since it's shade smooth, it doesn't overly matter. Now I'm going to duplicate that and put one on the other side. Now we can take the old work clock headphones, which was 548 triangles and 280 verts, and we could just get rid of them. We could do the same with any accessory that might need it. But let's grab everything and see where we're at. 4,200 triangles. We need to be under 4,000. And for verts, we're at 2,100, and we need to be under 1,200. So I'm gonna keep optimizing this character, and I guess I'll be back when that's done, and we can start the texturing process. I do wanna mention one thing as I'm doing this. Avoid decimate at all costs. It will be the fastest way to get a result, but fixing the textures will be absolutely a horrible experience. So try to avoid decimate. I am grabbing any lines I can and doing dissolve edges. That is helping. And since this is so small, all of those smaller details are not overly going to matter. But decimating, you're not going to have fun texturing. I can guarantee. All right. This looks so much worse than it did because he has so many accessories with the glasses, the headphones, the hair, the domino crown, the antlers. Antlers are the death of me when it comes to these plushies. Anyways, we just now met the requirements. So let's join this together and open up our UV editing tab once again. Now, as you can see, everything is everywhere. So we're going to start with the body first. I'm gonna grab everything, press U, and project from view. Now we can line stuff up where it needs to be. I am gonna pull up a picture of his avatar as well, just so I can make sure I'm putting everything right. All right. Let's switch this to face select, press L to grab everything, and drag it over here. I also need to make the material for this. Let's take everything off, make a new material, yellow dot, image texture, and then we will drop down into our hype picture. Z, material preview. This is how it looks at the moment. So R90. Now we have our torso looking somewhat correct. I think I'm gonna scale it down just a hair to fill that area up a bit more. Now we will do our arms. Let's just put one of those on top of the other. The sleeves are the same. So let's do our 90. There we go. We have our arms. Let's make sure we get those in a good position. On his avatar, only the bottom part of the arm has the hand texture, but I think I want to give that a little bit more. Also, it looks like I put that on one of the elbow parts, so let's put it on a smoother one, or with the elbow just a little higher up. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Let's do the legs next. We're going to do the same thing, put one on top of the other, and if you wanted to spend a lot of time, you could put each side of the leg and the arm and the torso where it goes. We will have to fix the back of the torso, which I'll show you guys in just a moment, but most of the time these plushies are very small, so I don't think it overly matters on the smaller details. But there we go. We have the body part done, except if we turn him around, you'll notice the front is on the back as well. So we're gonna actually grab this side, grab the middle, and Control Plus, and we're gonna press A over here and just move that to the back side. Now we're back to normal. We could also take the top up here, Control Plus, U, project from view, and we can make that fit where this neck hole is, just to give it a little bit more of that detail in his clothing. There we go. I guess we could do that for the top of all of these. I wouldn't do this if it was my own, but since I'm making it for somebody, I feel a bit more obligated to make it nice. All right, there we go. Now the hard part, guys. We'll start with the clockworks. They shouldn't actually be too bad. Let's do U, project from view, and we'll put one on the right side and one on the left side. All right, the right side one is correct, but we will grab that back face. S and 0. It's gonna scale it to nothing, and we're just gonna put that on the white. Now we need this one on the left, so we'll just move that over. Grab the back, S, 0, and put it on the white. This L is backwards, so let's flip this. I think that's right. Dyslexia is not great with the letters. For the work clocks, I just made everything into a vert by doing S and 0 to scale. And then I'm gonna grab this face, and we're gonna use project from view just on that face so we can get the work clock words. Let's do R90, bring this up, and scale that across. Words are just at the bottom, so we'll scale that up just a bit, and now we have our headphones. This is a rinse and repeat process over and over again. Let's press L. Now check this out. We are not going to project from view. We're gonna grab the whole thing, R90, and then we're gonna try to edit it so it can just fit within the UV map that already existed. Remember when I said don't decimate? As this will be a lot harder, this is the step that I was talking about. So since we didn't really decimate, we're able to use the old maps and make it a lot easier on ourselves now. If it doesn't line up completely perfect, don't worry about it. That looks like his hat. I'm gonna do that for the rest of the items, and I'll show you guys when it's done, then we can reposition it to look more like a plushie. All right, it looks like I forgot a little bit of the texture, mainly for the dominoes, as it's not on my sheet here. It looks like Roblox exported that one separately. So what I'm gonna do to make this the easiest on myself is drag that one into my current texture and just put it somewhere that I'm not really using. Something like this. And we'll just overwrite the one that we already had. As you can see, if we switch our thing now, grab these, toss them where the dominoes went, or at least as close as we can. There we go. We have our dominoes textured. All that we have to do now, let's go into our material preview so we can see. We just have to position this avatar. And then the last thing that I like to do is grab all of the accessories on the head. Like grab the whole head and scale it up. This makes him look like he just got a big head, aka a plushie. We can also do the same with the body, scale it down a bit, and then we can do Alt-S, which inflates, and that does help give a more balloon or plushie aesthetic. So there we go. The plushie is made. I will send this off to Hyperion. We do meet all of our requirements with 2,300 triangles and 1,182 verts. I want to add in one more thing before we wrap this one up. Make sure to import a normal dummy or avatar and line up your plushie where you want it and size it in Blender. That'll help you a lot later when you go to actually make this a UGC. That will wrap up today's video. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like this body template, it will be in the Discord server. Have a great day. Later.